pick Carson Wentz.
I pick Hunter Lipke.
Where'd you come from?
I was in football just like you.
Always choose people you know and trust for your team, like your community bankers at First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
Whether it's getting an education, making priceless memories, learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go, the team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Estvold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck, because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
Well, it's fair to say we're in full swing now, the girls' high school hockey season. Today we've got a rematch of the state semifinals a year ago from this very ice surface. It's the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. Good afternoon and welcome into the PSP broadcast for girls' high school hockey coverage. Fargo Davies comes in at 2-3. The Minot High Magents sit at 3-4. This is our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Valvoline Instant Oil Change with locations in Minot and Bismarck. They can typically perform their drive-through oil change in about 15 minutes or less. It's Valvoline and the Instant Oil Change bringing you today's pregame show. It's a doubleheader day on the PSP network. You've got the Minot High girls taking on Davies in the first one, followed by the Minot High boys taking on the Dickinson Midgets later on this evening on the PSP network. I'm Nick Hulberg, joined by the former Minot State University Beavers women's coach, Mr. Tony Swearingen, standout at Minot High. The resume is long. We could talk for a minute on that. Nevertheless, we've been at this for quite a while, and it's been a lot of fun calling these games with you, my friend. I'm going to bring you into the broadcast now. We're in store today for what could be a real good hockey game, aren't we?
Yeah, I really think so. And, you know, it all depends on how Minot High reacts here after that tough loss last night. I mean, obviously, they're kind of in a situation where they have to win a hockey game. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're hitting the panic button just yet, but they're darn close to hitting that panic button.
What was it about last night's game? A 1-0 loss to Jamestown at the old school All Seasons Arena. Fun to be in that place, but not for the Magents last night. They ran into a hot goaltender, and they just couldn't find a way to score. They ended up with 30-some shots on goal last night. More than that, they ended up with 40-plus on goal
45.
last night. 45. And Minot High ended up turning away. Jillian Ackerman turned away in the high 30s as well. It was quite a hockey game last night, but what was it about Jamestown that really stumped Minot High last night?
Jamestown did a very nice job taking nothing away from that hockey team. They came in with the game plan and they executed it. They defended very nicely in their end. And a lot of those attempts, I know the shots sound ridiculously high, but a lot of those attempts were just first shot attempts with zero rebound action behind it. And Minot High struggled to get to the net and get those secondary opportunities. And if they're going to have any success against this Davies team, they're going to have to find a way to get to that goaltender and really make her uncomfortable.
Well, Minot High's got some of the top scorers in the state of North Dakota. Fargo Davies, on the other hand, well, they've got a pretty good goaltender in their own right, and they've got an all-state player by the name of Allie Ebeneth. 3 points on the year already, coming in 4 games. The all-state defender for the Davies Eagles, coming in after a big win last night at Williston, 3-2. That Coyote team, they're for real this year, it seems as well, Tony.
They're sneaky good, and they're not going to blow you away on paper, that's for sure. But yeah, they've won some big games, and we talked a little bit about it last night. Their win against Minot High, as far as I'm concerned, there's an asterisk behind that one, but. That tying goal never went in, and so there's many people that said that, and I'll stick with that one. So, but the fact that the Williston was able to hang in there and take Davies into overtime, and then eventually a shootout loss, that shows that they're for real. They're in this, and they're gonna battle all year long. Mother Nature wreaking havoc on Western North Dakota, not even just Western North Dakota, but across our state here over the weekend. When you look at those factors of this hockey game, not only do you have to travel from Fargo all the way to Williston, back to Minot. I mean, we're talking some major hours on the bus, at least 10 now here for the Davies Eagles in 2 days with the overnight in Williston last night. How much of a factor is that? Take us into the coaching role here of how to address the team, how to get the team ready for that, and then take us into the players' role of that as well on how to get up after bus legs in a game last night are going to have to be an issue here in this hockey game. Well, yeah, Fargo Davies, I mean, boy, oh boy, what a road trip for them. I mean, they had to come, they got to Minot early yesterday afternoon. They checked into their hotel. They got their stuff in their hotel rooms. Then they turned around, loaded back onto the bus, drove all the way to Williston, played an overtime game, had to win it in a shootout, then get back on the bus, drive back to Minot. They probably didn't get back here until 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. They're probably dead tired at that point in time. Now, I know we got a late start this afternoon, so they did get some sleep. As far as on the players' role, I mean, they just have to mentally focus in right away. I was talking to a couple of people about this Fargo Davies team. They have had a bad habit of taking way too long to get started. They let teams get off to an early jump on them. They have a hard time getting their offense rolling early in the first period. And if they have that hard time today, hopefully Minot can capitalize and get a good lead on them. We've got plenty more to talk about. We're going to break down the numbers of the showdown. We'll look at the standings inside of girls hockey in our state. We'll have our keys to the game. We'll have our goaltender matchup and much more. It all comes up next on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show from the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. Oh, by the way, it's absolutely beautiful outside the Magic City now after Mother Nature about had the roads closed last night. It's going to be a storm inside of here today, starting in about 13 minutes with the puck drop of the Eagles and the Magents, the girls' high school hockey.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
When it comes to your car, you need someone you can trust. Someone who cares about your safety, your budget, and your peace of mind. At Trusted Tire and Auto, trust is more than just a word. It's at the heart of everything we do. We're a local business, owned and operated by people who live and work in this community. And we believe that by building relationships based on trust and care, we can make our community a better place to live and drive. Trusted Tire and Auto, where trust, care, and community meet on the road.
And 4 Magents, 2 and 3 Davies Eagles in an East-West showdown here today on the PSP Network. Of course, in girls hockey, it's one big conference in our great state of North Dakota. It's a big one today here on a Saturday afternoon from the Pepsi Rink. Dick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen on the call for the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. We know you're busy. When you visit our service center, we don't waste our time or yours. Our technicians can typically perform a full service oil change in about 15 minutes. I'll tell you firsthand, I just drive right in, get to watch on the monitors what they're doing to your vehicle, check your email, maybe eat your lunch, just sit right in your car at the Valvoline drive-through oil change. It's only about 15 minutes or less. They do a fantastic job at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Dick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen here for the call today. We changed venues from the All Seasons Arena back to the Pepsi Rink. Yes, that game last night for Minot High on their home ice, quote unquote, but really not so much when you look at the facility that is the Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena, the luxuries that Minot High has with their own locker room that's here and things of that nature. Is that a factor changing from arena to arena in your mind? Really, it shouldn't be, but in my mind, it kind of is.
Well, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head, Nick. I think for most people, you'd sit and say to yourself, well, it's across town. How can it be a big deal to just change venues? You're still playing in your home city, you got your home crowd and everything else. It's a comfortability factor. I mean, for the players, I mean, they have a routine built here inside the Mesa, and they weren't able to have that yesterday. Did that play a factor in how they executed yesterday? Probably not. You know, but with that being said, I'm sure it made some players uncomfortable, and routines were a little bit different, and you know they needed to figure out a way to work through it because it's no different than any other road game.
Well, one thing's for certain is that they ran into a hot goaltender yesterday. I misspoke in our first set. Last night, Minot High outshot Jamestown 45-41. Give Jillian Ackerman credit with 40 in last night's contest. Quite a game there. Minot High coming into the showdown, however, has dropped 3 straight. They lost at Grand Forks 3-0. They lost at Williston 3-2. They lost last night 1-0. On the other side, in the last 3, the Davies Eagles are sitting at 1-2. A 3-2 loss to Century. 3-0 north-south from Fargo shut them out. And then last night, a 3-2 victory. What does that do for the standings? Well, let's take a look at them right now. Standings inside of girls hockey in our state here this evening, brought to you by North Dakota High School Hockey.com. Big thanks to our good friend Bob Gillen for his continued work to promote local athletes in our great state on the ice. It's North Dakota High School Hockey.com. West Fargo United, the team at the top of the ladder inside of the state with 17 points. Fargo North South with 15 points on the season. 13 for Grand Forks. We've got some score updates that might change some things around a bit, Tony, in just a moment. Mandan with 9 points on the year at 3-2 overall. Williston sitting in the middle of the pack at number 5 with 7 points on the year. Century at number 6. Then you'll find Minot at number 7 with that 2-4 mark in conference play. 6 points on the year for them. Jamestown at 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 overtime defeat, 1 overtime victory. 2-3 overall for a record and 6 points for them. Then you find the Davies Eagles at number 9. They played the state championship game last year. Now here they are trying to climb that ladder. They've got 4 points on the year with 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 1-point snags, if you will, with the overtime losses on the season. Legacy Bismarck at number 10. Dickinson's at 11. Devil's Lake is at 12. Here's the other games today inside of our state. Grand Forks was at Mandan. Jamestown was at Williston. Century at Fargo North South. Of course, you've got Davies and Minot here locked and loaded from the Pepsi rink. Devil's Lake is at Dickinson, and West Fargo United at Legacy Bismarck. Here's those score updates. Century 1-0 over Fargo North South at the end of the second. That's end of the first, excuse me. End of the second. That's a big one for Century if they could hang on there. Fargo North South again in the number 2 spot. Mandan over Grand Forks Central. They got an empty net goal. The Night Riders are going to drop to Mandan, and Mandan gobbles up some big points there, moving up to 1 point now behind Grand Forks. You look at where we stand inside the season, and a lot of people will say, well, yeah, you need to just play your best hockey at the end of the year and work towards that. I agree with that 1,000%. However, in my mind, this is a horse race. When you're only playing 18 games on the year, you need to get to the top of the ladder as quick as you possibly can.
You can't afford to lose games early. And for Minot High, you know, granted they had an uphill battle at the beginning of the year. They started the year battling some pretty serious injuries with some pretty key players, and now they're starting to get back to that healthy mark. But you know, like last night against Jamestown, I mean, that was a game they absolutely had to have, and to drop that game, that just puts them behind the 8 ball. Now, granted, with that being said, they still play Fargo North South twice in the second semester. They still play West Fargo United twice in the second semester. They still have some big games in the second semester where they can make up some ground, but they cannot afford to lose another game today.
On paper here today, another horse race analogy here. We could be neck and neck according to what both these teams bring to the paper. In your mind, is there a team with an edge in this hockey game today?
Right now, the team that has the edge is the Fargo Davies Eagles. Let's just be honest about that. They have the edge. They're coming off a win in Williston, a big win, and you know, where they had to battle some bad weather just to get there. You know, they had to battle some adversity to get there, and they performed, and they earned that win. Now on the other side of that, you have Minot High, who is, I mean, we talked about it. They haven't hit the panic button yet, but they're reeling right now, and they have to figure out how to win a hockey game.
Time to take a look at some of the numbers in this one, Tony, and some key notes to this contest with the Eagles and the Magents. Let's start with the state scoring leaders. A look at the state scoring leaders brought to you by Roger Ward Moving and Storage. Proudly helping the region with their moving and storage needs since 1942. You can find them online, roger-wardmovingandstorage.com. State scoring leaders. Well, you see Jaden Nass from Williston, 11 points at the top of the list in 6 games played. Courtney Doctor from West Fargo United's got 10. Then a pair of Majets at number 3 and 4. Macy Burke's got 9. So does Bryn Hansen. Those two young ladies need to be X factors here today. Regan Benz from West Fargo United's got 7. Tiana Hendrickson from Dickinson has 6. So does Anna Nelson from North South. Kenley Fisher has 6 as well. Madison Flemmer from Bismarck. Legacy Bismarck High has 6. Got to go down this list of ways to find anybody from Davies in this contest. However, when you look at what they bring to the table, 3 points on the year for the All-Stater Allie Ebeneth, not inside of the top 20 inside of the state. Team totals on the year. Davies has played 4 games. They've scored 8 times. They've given up 10. They average 2 goals a game. On the plus side, they give up 2.5 on the opposition side. They've taken 13 penalties. They've drawn 14. They're firing around 26 shots a game. 30 is what they give up. They've got 9 players on the season that own a point, 5 players with 1 or more goals on the year. For the Minot High Majets, they've played 7 games now of the year. They've scored 19. They've given up 19. That's 2.7 on average per game. The Majets have taken 25 penalties. They've drawn 32. They average around 26 shots a game. They give up 29. Minot High's got distribution. They've got 8 players with a goal or more on the season and 10 that have a point or more on the year. That's a look at the numbers in the showdown, brought to you by Roger Ward Moving and Storage. We are getting close to puck drop at the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena for the Saturday early evening affair with the Eagles and the Majets. It's a rematch of the last year's state semifinal matchup where Davies won by a score of 1-0 before they fell Fargo North South in the state championship. Same arena, same 2 teams as the semifinals. Get ready for what could be a good one and a must-win to my mind for both of these teams here today on the PSP Network. We'll meet the starters, we'll have our keys to the game, and we'll salute our country when we come back to the Pepsi rink to close out the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. Well, it's time to put a cap on our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. They've got an issue with the microphone down in the penalty box, so we're going to have to hop right into it here, Tony. Time for our keys to the game. They're delivered by Northern Plains Heating and Air. 25 years as your factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal. No other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. First for the Davies Eagles. A quick start will be a factor for them today and their key in my mind after the bus trip out to Williston, back over to Minot, and a short start time here today, a short gap between start times at 4 o'clock. They can get off the bus, pardon the pun there, and get off to an early hot start. That will be an X factor on the other side for Minot High. My goodness, they just need to bury their chances. They had plenty last night, but the young lady from Jamestown certainly stood on her head. She deserves a lot of credit, but those are my keys to tonight's game. Your thoughts?
I couldn't agree more with both of those. And, you know, I talked a little bit about the fact that, you know, Fargo Davies has had a bad habit of starting slow. And so, you know, if they're going to play that way, we got to see if they can get off the bus and play hard here early.
Davies is in the cream with the Cardinal red. Minot's in white with maroon. Minot from the right to left. The Eagles from the left to right. Nick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen on the call. We are underway from the Magic City and the Pepsi Rink. Thanks for joining us today, and a big thank you again to Valvoline Instant Oil Change, bringing us our pregame festivities here on the PSP Network. 40 seconds in. Davies will go for a change as they dump it down into the far corner. We'll take a look at the goaltender matchup coming up in just a moment here.
Megan Supis
going against Jillian Ackerman here today. Supis sitting on a .919 save percentage and a .214 goals against average. Those are primetime numbers. Jillian Ackerman at a .246 goals against and a .918 save percentage. Stellar for her as well. Minute 12 into the hockey game. Puck's down in the corner for the Magents. They go to work on it here with Garris. She's going to motor her way up to center. Puck's stripped there by Knapp, and Knapp will dump it right back in. Short shifts here for Davies. That's the game plan for their first-year head coach, Josh Rogers. As this puck's going to come all the way down. Will we have an icing? We will. That icing brought to you by Minot State University. Be seen, be heard, be you. It's Minot State. 96% of recent college grads from Minot State are either employed or continuing their education at Minot State University. Those numbers speak for themselves. It's Minot State, proud supporter of our mission of promoting local athletes on the PSP Network. Off the draw. Davies offensive zone with the puck. They work down to Lavoie. She's got it here. Minot High trying to clear the zone as it's going to be taken underneath the hash marks. Big thanks to Owen Patterson and yourself on the great call last night from the All Seasons Arena.
Thanks, bud.
Job well done to you gentlemen. Owen Patterson, new member of the PSP Network, getting his master's in broadcast from Minot State. He's going to be a rising star, folks. We sure appreciate his efforts on the PSP Network. Wrestling and girls hockey this week for him on the call. This puck's going to be sent all the way down the length of the ice. Will it be far enough for an icing? It will. Just about there to touch was Barch, but it will be an icing with 14:40 to play in our opening period. Nice crowd starting to gather their way into the Pepsi Rink.
Well, as it should. I mean, it's a doubleheader tonight. There's no sense in not coming to this game if you're going to come to the boys' game following. And you know, it's nice to see some good support in the building, and I know Fargo Davies brought a pretty nice sized contingency, so nice to see them in the building as well.
Eagles up to center with it, back on the retrieve for Minot High. Dravecki, she had it stripped right in towards Ackerman. She went down and she just swept it out away. Eagles with the puck. Bounces off the end wall. Big carom out front, and that puck is going to be spun on out of there. Eve Slynn came up with a nice stop as that one took a funny bounce off the hometown Magents boards behind their own net.
Yeah, it was a good spot for Eve to be in. You know, filling in, trying to help out her D-core down there in front of the net. Talked about it a lot last night as far as, you know, how the defense needed clear pucks out in front of Jillian Ackerman. And, you know, they really struggled with that last night. And so that was a good thing that Eve was in that position to do that there.
Dravecki off the wall to the near side, pushed down. We may get an icing here, and we will. 13:43 to play in the opening period. Scoreless on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. We talk about the All Seasons Arena as a home game for Minot High. However, the difference in venues and just little things like the way that the ice shapes up and how quick the ice is to the bounces in behind your own net. Those are all such little intricate details that are factors in sport of hockey.
Well, 100%. You know, yesterday, you know, those boards in the All Seasons Arena, that, you know, those are relatively new, and, you know, they do a nice job with that venue, but those boards are new, and so they're really lively.
Out in front, all one-time opportunity. Ackerman save, rebound out in front. Jillian made two of them now in the crease. Jumping on the puck for Minot High. This is Burke. Are we going to end up with a penalty shot here, or did Jillian Ackerman end up on top of that puck?
It looked like Jillian Ackerman ended up swinging back around and getting on top of that puck, so good for her on that. But that was a close call, another close call from Minot High. But yeah, you know, just how the puck bounces off the wall when you're chipping glass and everything else that's all a factor. I mean, you get the Majets practice in this rink, 4 days a week. So, you turn around and play in a different venue. Every venue has its own personality. And, so it is essentially a road game.
Off the draw, Minot High defensive zone. Shots are 2-0 Davies. And the Majets content with just sending this one down 200 feet again. And icing on the play. 13-11 to play in the opening period. Scoreless on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC locations in North Dakota and Arizona, providing banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit BNC Bank online today at bnc.bank. Minot High's Bryn Hansen, the point leader, in on the draw, winning it back to the near side. Corralling here is Slind. She pushes up to center, connects with Hansen. Gapped off on the play, and the puck comes back into the possession now here of Ottmar. And Ottmar moves it back up to the neutral ice zone. Now Minot trying to clear. They will. They bring it up to center with the motor on. This is Beta. She'll dump down and chase. 12:37 ticking away here in this opening period. Davies with a jump early out of this hockey game. We're going to move the puck to the near side wing. It's going to come off the near wall. On the retrieve from Minot High is Drevecki. Moves it across to her partner Barch, and now it's taken away back into the offensive territory. This is Meyer in on Ackerman, and Jillian forced to make save number 3 here in the hockey game.
Yeah, that was a nice regroup there by Isabel Drevecki, just being patient and skating away from the pressure, and went D to Sydney Barch. Barch has to do a better job of finding an outlet pass rather than sending it right back up the middle, maybe go up the wall.
Off the draw, another quick shot. That one turned away. Lavoie was the one that had the shot on goal. Keep your eye on Ebeneth, number 5 here for Davies on the far left point. An all-state player. Swept out of the corner. She's in her senior campaign, helping Davies all the way to a second-place finish at the state high school hockey tournament last year. Good run for them, 22-4 when it was all said and done. They won the regular season at the top of the conference. They were the favorite to win it. They just ran into a red-hot Fargo North-South team when it was all said and done. Lost in the state title game by a score of 2-0 here at the Pepsi Rink.
Yeah, and going back to that game last season, I don't know if it was the factor that they ran into a buzzsaw. All the credit in the world to Fargo North-South, 2-time state champ there, but the fact of the matter was that semifinal game against Minot High last year was an absolute war. And, there are a lot of people that didn't really expect Minot High to be into that game. And at the end of the day, it was 1-0. And Minot High battled straight to the end. And I've had the pleasure of getting to know some of these Fargo people. And they'll flat out tell you, as a Minot High person, if we wouldn't have played you in the semifinal game, we would have won that state championship last year.
Tipped out in front of Ackerman. Oh, it's sent just wide of the cage on the doorstep. Sobernagel was knocking. Just sent it off to the corner. Yeah, the amount of gas left in the tank after a dogfight like that, 1-0 here on Minot's home ice. A lot of people will say that their favorite contests are a high-scoring affair. I played goaltender back in my day through high school and men's league champion. Just throw that in as an asterisk.
Well, I was a defenseman, so I feel you. I like those low-scoring ones. Now, for entertainment factor, obviously, you want to see some goals and whatnot. But those low-scoring affairs are usually the ones that get my blood pumping as well.
Fargo Davies is going to be charged with their second bench penalty of the season. Too many girls on the ice for Davies. And Minot High gets their first power play of this hockey game here with 10:38 to play in the opening period.
Yeah, and it couldn't have happened at a better time for Minot High, as they have not registered a shot yet. Most of the play has been down in their own end. So, let's see how this power play, how they draw this up, and if they can execute or not.
Talking about that 22-23 season a year ago, Minot High registered their best ever finish. Puck's out in front. Oh, big save there. Supis made the stop. Another drive comes in just wide of the cage. Minot High had a third-place finish last year as they took down Legacy Bismarck in the third-place game. Senior Athlete of the Year for the West Region for Minot High and Taylor Cope. Her last game for the Magents certainly shined. Pucks away on the near side. It's going to be scrum 4 on the wall, and out with it come the Magents into the zone. This is Macy Burke skating it down. Burke's got 9 of the season. Side of the net, loose in front. It's in the blue paint. All the bad scramble. And Supis comes up on top of it. Minot was on the doorstep looking for a power play tally. They were denied on the play with 9:51 to play in the opening period.
Yeah, and that's a good first. Like, if you want a good opportunity to score a goal, that was a good one. I mean, that puck went back and forth from post to post 2 times, and Minot just couldn't figure out how to get it in the back of the net. But if you want to score goals, that's what you're going to have to do, is get Supis moving laterally, because she's a very stellar goaltender.
Natalie Bergeron sent it down about 150 feet. Penalty kill there for Davies, sitting at 54 seconds. ServPro power play out for the Magents, first specialty teams activity of the hockey game. ServPro 24/7 emergency service with trained technicians and advanced technology at ServPro. Minot's got it up top. They work it across to the far side, tipped in front, on the doorstep, wide open, just couldn't get the stick on it. Another opportunity, second time's the charm. Fagerlund tucks it in for her 3rd of the season.
Nice pass there. The initial shot got Supis off of her feet, moving laterally. She wasn't able to go from the left post to the right post in time, and I believe it was Bryn Hansen that made the nice pass out front to Fallon Fagerlund, and they just tucked her home.
Minot High draws first blood here in this one, 1-for-1 on the power play. 9:08 remaining here in this opening period. It's going to be Fagerlund scoring her 3rd goal of the season. We'll wait for the official assist. I believe you are correct that Bryn Hansen's going to get some credit on that power play tally for the Magents. Let's listen in. Well, that's why you get paid the big bucks, my friend. It's Hansen with the assist. Point number 10 for her. Inside the top 5 in North Dakota as far as point production is concerned. And Fagerlund picks up goal number 3. Delay call coming here on Minot now, and we're going to have a power play coming for the Davies Eagles. Their first power play of this afternoon matchup.
Yeah, and you couldn't ask for a better player than Bryn Hansen to get that assist as hard as she worked last night in that 1-goal loss to Jamestown. I mean, she was grinding, covering both ends of the ice, and she was pretty upset at the end of the night, and deservedly so. She wanted to win that game, and she was definitely the hardest working player on the ice.
She had a chance with about 2 minutes left on a breakaway. Sorely stoned her last night. That happened 45 times to be exact to that hockey game. She was our player of the game last night. Sorely was next level, to say the least.
Yeah, she was pretty spectacular, wasn't she?
Stoner's in the box on a 2-minute hooking call. Davies has their first power play. ServPro power play down to minute 26 with 7:50 to play. In a 1-0 first. If you're just joining us, it was Fagerlund on the power play from Hansen to give Minot the first lead of the hockey game. Here come the Eagles up to center ice. Take it off the near side wall. Garris trying to send it down, but back the other way we go now as Ottmar's going to weave her way in. Ottmar back behind the net. Ridden off in the corner, taken here by Burke, and Burke will send this one the full 200 feet. All the way down, back in behind Supis, and back to retrieve now is Eminent, the All-State captain here for the Davies Eagles.
Yeah, and Ottmar, she's one of those end-to-end defensive players. She plays on Team North Dakota, and she's a really good defenseman. She's got a heck of a good shot, and she's definitely a threat at both ends of the ice.
Fagerlund had the long clear. 30 seconds remains in the power play for Davies. Under 7 to play in the opening period. First matchup of the year between these two hockey teams. Davies was at Williston last night for a 3-2 win. Minot was at the All Seasons Arena in the Magic City, dropping a 1-0 heartbreaker for the Magents to Jamestown. Final 9 seconds of power play time. Here for the Eagles is up into the offensive zone, carrying the puck in. Bergeron sent in front. Knapp's on the doorstep. She fires and scores. What a play that was. Bergeron to Knapp. She made no doubt about it. And Knapp puts it into the back of the net for her first point, first goal of the season.
Yeah, what a nice play that was by Fargo Davies. The initial drive in the outside lane, pulling both defensemen to that side of the ice, and Elise Knapp just sits down in the slot, picks up a nice backhand pass and buries it. Jillian didn't really have much of a shot on that, moving left to right. So that was a great power play goal by Davies. Well, perfectly executed.
Just about 3 minutes apart. Knapp picks up her first of the year. Let's listen in for the official scoring. Snap for Bergeron. We're tied at 1 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Well, will we see a track meet here today? I would think probably not with the caliber of the goaltenders in the pipes, but we should be in store for a good one, a pair of good ones early on in this contest.
Yeah, both power play units cashing in on their first opportunities. I think that's a signal to both coaching staffs that you have to get your benches under control and stay out of the box. If it turns into a power play penalty kill fest, then we could be in for a track meet, but I don't foresee that happening.
This hockey game on the PSP Network and all of our coverage on the PSP Network proudly brought to you by the UPS Store. For all your packing and shipping needs, it's the UPS Store located on South Broadway in the Marketplace Foods Plaza. Holiday season is here. When it's time to ship, choose the UPS Store. They do a great job at the UPS Store. Back at the point for Minot High. Down to the corner it comes. Eagles in possession. Backhander's going to be picked off there by Minot High's Johnson. Campbell Johnson frees it out front. Nobody home for Minot High. And on the retrieve back at center, this is Barch, who goes off the wall to the far wing, and it's dumped right back in for Stoner. Minot goes off for a 3-for-5 change as the Eagles regroup in their own end. Under 5 to play, opening period. Minot scored first. Fagerlund had the goal. Then was the Eagles that just responded with a power play goal of their own. Both goals coming on the power play here in this hockey game.
Oh, nice play by Eve.
Eve Slynn breaks free. Slynn, top shelf. Oh, high riser. Just missed. You saw where she was going upstairs, and it was just off the mark. Slynn gets it back and fires it. And there's a pad stop, but a player down on the far wall. 2 of them to be exact over on the far half wall. Both are up and all right. That was Bryn Hansen that was down for Minot High.
Yeah, and that's a scary moment if you're on the coaching staff when Bryn Hansen doesn't get up right away, because she's not one to stay down.
2 minutes for hooking is the charge on Davies skater number 19, Leah Meyer. She's in the sin bin. And Minot's power play comes out for the second time here today. How about Eve Slynn had the opportunity out in front of the net. Another nice stop there from the Davies netminder. Supis comes up big. At the point, Barch fire save, rebound loose in front. And the puck is slid down into the corner. Serve Pro power play, Serve Pro 24/7 emergency service. Trained technicians and advanced technology at Serve Pro. Burke on the backhand, sent it to the side of the net. Supis on the stop, and we will have a face-off coming with 4:12 to play here in our opening period. Still 1-1 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, Minot High likes to set their power play up and run it from below the goal line. And it seems to be causing Supus a little bit of issues right now because she's having a hard time locating the puck when it comes back out front.
Bryn Hansen takes it away. Fire save. Supus on top of it. Excellent opportunity there generated from Bryn Hansen, currently in the top 3 in the state of North Dakota as far as scorers are concerned. She moved up into that number 2 spot depending on what happened in the matchup. As far as the score sheet's concerned, Williston and West Fargo in play today as well. Those are the 2 young ladies that are in front of Bryn Hansen. Jaden Nass from Williston, Doctor from West Fargo United. Under 4 to play in the period. Drive from the line, missed to the left. That was Garris that fired. Puck's going to come back up to center ice. Garris is going to have it here. And Garris will pick her spot, move it off forward now to Fagerlund. And Fagerlund's going to be whistled on the offsides here with 3:43 to play in the opening period. Again, Nick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen on the call. It's cold in here today, isn't it?
It is. I can't even take my coat off.
We took our jackets off for the pregame. Being on camera, luckily for us, we both had the Sport Clips haircuts. That looked good. However, freezing just a bit as far as temperature in the venue. What a beautiful place this is for hockey at our great state. Inside of the top 3 arenas, according to many people across North Dakota. Got the Ralph, the Shields Arena, and then the Pepsi rink at Mesa and Minot. Place holds around 2,400. That absolute capacity. Home to the Minot Minotauros of the North American League. Minot State men's and women's college hockey. The men were at home last night. That's why the girls' high school program was out at the All Seasons Arena. Minot State played Midland. They had a pair of wins on Thursday and Friday. Put up 14 goals in a pair of games. This one's going to be knocked all the way down to the other end of the ice surface. And back in behind the Minot High cage. It lies here with 10 seconds remaining of power play time for the Magents. 2:39 to play here in the period. We're going to have a stop in the play. And an offsides on the Davies Eagles.
Yeah, what a smart play by Cammie Garris on the offensive blue line. I know it didn't amount to a whole lot, but she kind of cut from one dot to the other on the offensive blue line because she ran out of room and mishandled the puck. But she had the wherewithal to wait for Eve Slynn to regroup, and they were able to get it back out and regroup and get possession of the puck again and without turning it over. So that was a smart play by Eve.
Davies back to full strength. 1 for 2 now on the Serpro penalty kill. Garris far line with a lane, fired it forward, knocked down. Bryn Hansen's got it, walks across the slot, fired wide. Rebound comes back.
Supus never saw that.
No, she did not. Good coverage out in front of the net. Puck's taken here by Davies on the near wing. Minot's got 2 skaters down and after it. Burke's one of them, sent it out front. Just off the mark there for Stoner, the intended target. Through the goal mouth again. That one skitters wide. Under 2 minutes to play, opening period. Burke on front. Hansen, all one-time opportunity with a little snapshot there. The stop was made. Supus coming up big. Supus all of a sudden with 11 saves in this opening period. Minot winning that category 12-8 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised at how kind of passive Fargo Davies D-zone is. It seems to be a lot more passive this year than it was last year, and I know it's a new coaching staff here at Fargo Davies, but you know, they're just kind of content to just watch Minot High move the puck in those outside lanes, and I understand that Minot High is not really a threat from those outside lanes with low percentage shots, but Davies has to put some pressure on the puck defensively at some point.
Up to center come the Eagles now. This is Oshak. Oshak moving forward. She's over the blue line. Puck stripped there on the near side. That last name, Oshak, gives people in Minot quite a nightmare from time to time. Sam Oshak playing for Fargo South Shanley on the boys' side. At Fargo Shanley in high school football. Minot High did have the better of the Shanley Deacons in the state title game this year. First state title in 43 years for Minot High School. Tripping's the call on the ice surface, and into the box goes Grothman. Lucy Groffman with her first penalty of the year. Minot High's got their third power play of the game. They're 1 for 2 to this juncture. 46.5 seconds to play in the opening period. 1-1 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Hansen back behind the net. Tess Fagerlund helping out. Hansen's going to wheel and deal from Gretzky's office, trying to wrap around. Comes to Fagerlund down front. Shot, save, rebound. Loose in front of the paint. Oh, Supis with 2 big-time stops on the point-blank power play chances. It stays 1-1. All right, kids, get ready to count them down. We're at 18 seconds to play here in the period. Now 15 up to center. Minus Fagerlund. Into the zone, offsides on the Magets. Well, great chances out front again for Minot High School. Supis certainly is standing tall.
Yeah, and she is having fits with this power play right now. Bryn Hansen's doing a fantastic job down there in Gretzky's office, just getting her to move laterally and then coming out the other side and making that pass out front. And Minot High's doing a great job of getting open out there. I mean, that's Fallon Fagerlund twice now out front, and first time she was able to bury it, but this last time not so much.
Puck's frozen on the end wall. We are through our opening period of play. It's a 1-1 contest between the Davies Eagles and the Minot Magets. Magic towing. First intermission report comes up next on the PSP Network. You blow it, we tow it. It's Magic Towing. We'll have all the numbers and the highlights of the first. A good one between the Eagles and the Magets here at Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about Magic Towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it. We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
And finally, Agent Smith. He's in charge of restoring your property to its original state.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
One period complete inside of the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. Nick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen for our Magic Towing intermission report. Magic Towing, put the number in your phone now. You'll be glad that you did. 509-4011. It's Magic Towing bringing you our intermission. The Davies Eagles and Minot High Jets finding themselves in quite a hockey game. It's currently 1-1 at the end of one. Magic Towing, by the way, serving all of Western North Dakota. Nick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen here for the call today. Tony, good hockey game. Your thoughts overall on that first period of play?
It was a good first period by both teams, and we talked about the keys to the game as far as Davies coming out and having a better start than they typically do, and I thought that they showed up and they kind of took it to Minot there for about an 8-minute stretch, and Minot had some resolve and bounced back and scored that first power play goal. And overall, Minot High is doing a pretty good job. They still need to do a better job of getting pucks to the net and finding those rebounds, but at least they're on the board tonight, so maybe that takes some pressure off of them.
If you're the Davies Eagles in that locker room right now, is there any major corrections that are being talked about right now?
Oh, 100%. They got to stay out of the box. My gosh. I mean, they're trying to kill off their third penalty in one period. You can't win hockey games killing penalties, and if you got to kill 3 penalties a period, you're not going to win this game.
Yeah, gas is going to run out in a quick hurry, especially with the guns that Minot has. Let's take a look at the stats from that opening period of play. Brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. 50 years, Ryan Family Dealerships has been serving Western North Dakota as a trusted name in the car buying and selling industry. You can find them online, Ryan.com. It's DriveRyan.com. Try it one more time to make sure we get it right. DriveRyan.com. They've got a little bit of everything at Ryan Family Dealerships. They bring you a look at the numbers in our first intermission. 1-1 on the scoreboard. Shots are 12-9, favoring Minot High. 11 saves. Zupas, 8 for Ackerman. 2 power play goals in that opening period. Tony, Minot went 1 for 2, and they've got power play time remaining on their third power play. When we come into our second period, Davies power play at 1 for 1. Any of these numbers really hopping off the paper to you? I mean, really a pretty fair game at this point.
Yeah, no, nothing really pops off on paper as far as the statistics goes so far through the first period. The one thing that I did notice is, for Minot High to have some success, they have to possess pucks and exit the zone cleanly, and they started to do that after that 8-minute stretch where Davies kind of had control, and And if Minot High reverts back to just sloppily throwing the puck out of the zone straight up the wall, they're going to continue to struggle early in the second period, and they absolutely can't afford to have that happen.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that opening period of Ackerman save. Highlights brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. See Jillian Ackerman early on in the contest coming up with a big stop to start things off for Minot High. Minot really didn't get the legs going until about 7 minutes in. That's where we pick up the scoring of these highlights here in this contest here today. But first, a big stop from Supas on the other end as both goaltenders exchange a couple. Here's Minot High on the power play and the opportunity now. You see Fagerlund side of the net waiting. I maybe could have scored that one. Yawning goalmouth for her third of the season. Fagerlund gave Minot High a 1-0 lead. Moments later, in the middle of the ice surface, firing in her first point and goal of the year for the Davies Eagles was number 15. That's Elise Knapp. Minot had a couple more opportunities, but again, the stops were made by both goaltenders. That's a look at the highlights in the first period, brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. Ryan Family Dealerships can be found online. Browse their massive inventory in its entirety at driveryan.com. Minot scored first at 9:08. Fagerlund's third of the year, assisted by Bryn Hansen. Hansen's got 10 points now on the season. Talked about the first point of the season for Elise Knapp. She was assisted on the play by Natalie Bergeron, her first point of the year. Couple firsts there for the Fargo Davies Eagles. That always helps the cause in getting things going on the scoring side of their campaigns. 1-1 at the end of one. Again, shots 14-9 favoring Minot High at the end of one period play. It's a doubleheader on the PSP network here today. Coming up next, Dickinson at Minot High at 7:30. Our pregame scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight. I'll be on the call with former UND men's hockey player, Mr. Matt Morelli, tonight as the Midgets of Magi come together. That could be a big one tonight inside the West region. Minot in a situation along with the Midgets where they both look for some points inside the WDA, and two teams that are going to have a pretty fair shot at being at the state high school hockey tournament when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and Minot needs to get some points right now. I mean, granted they have that big win, that home opener against Mandan, but going down to Bismarck and dropping one to Century 7-6. I mean, putting six goals on the board, you should not lose a hockey game, and so you're looking, you want to see if Minot High can rebound and continue the scoring, but maybe straighten out their decor a little bit.
Should be a fun one tonight. We'll have the call for you on the PSP network. Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show again starting at around 7 o'clock for that matchup here tonight. 1-1 at the end of one period played. Time for our second period. It comes up next here on the PSP network.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess, and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
When it's time to choose your team, you want to pick the best.
I picked Carson Wentz. I picked Hunter Lipke.
Where'd you come from? I was in football just like you.
Always choose people you know and trust for your team, like your community bankers at First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
Whether it's getting an education, making priceless memories, learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go, the team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Estvold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck, because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
Well, they've got AC/DC pumping inside of the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. Setting the tone for what could be a good second period. It's 1-1 at the end of one period played. Welcome into the second tonight, brought to you by our friends at Prestwich Orthodontics. Free virtual consultations, either online or in the office. Free consultations, whether virtual or in the office, I should say. It's Prestwich Orthodontics. Find them at modernbraces.com. Proud supporter of North Dakota High School Athletics. Quick shot on goal. Into the catching mitt it goes as Bryn Hansen fired it on. Supis saw it all the way and gloved it down.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity by Bryn, but Megan Supis and Bryn Hansen, they played together on Team North Dakota Tier 1 16U, so their former teammates battling it out today.
Puck sent out in front. Minot High is going to get it. Fagerlund looking for her second. Fired it towards the net, knocked down. Back at the line. Tipped down in front. Oh, and Karam just wide. Puck comes back away down to Bryn Hansen. Number 3 in the state as far as scores are concerned. Tried the wraparound. Supis got the pad on it. Back at the point. Barch shuffled it off down into the corner. Hansen's got it again. Out in front. Oh, give and go play. Side of the net. The Jets have scored. They take the lead. And Bryn Hansen again setting it up. Gretzky style to Fagerlund. Made no mistake about it. Fagerlund's got 2 in the hockey game. Yeah, that was a nice play. A little tap in there. You got Supis moving left to right. That's a tough save for a small goaltender to make. He's got to cover a lot of ground right there. And Fallon Fagerlund opportunistic there. And great job by Bryn Hansen setting her up. Bryn Hansen sets up Fagerlund for the second time. That power play was not yet expired, if I'm not mistaken. Correct. Second power play goal for Minot High School. They lead 2-1. Let's listen in.
Goal scored by number 5, Fallon Fagerlund. Assisted by number 3, Bryn Hansen, and number 12, Macy Burke.
Burke on the assist as well.
From Macy and Bryn.
2-1, Magenta on top of the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Well, if you can score within the first few minutes of a period or the last few minutes, it's certainly a dagger to your opposition. Minot High comes out of the gates 46 seconds into the second and puts one on the board. That was a highlight reel play again from Brent Hansen. Fagerlund on the tap in. Here comes Eve Slind up to center with it. Slind on the 1-on-2. Denied at the line there as Jensen made the stop. Partner to partner goes now as Hallie Balkin's got it. She moves it off ahead. Into the zone come the Eagles. Waffle board stop there on the opportunity that was sent towards the cage by Meyer. And we go the other direction now for Minot High, right below us here at the press box at the Pepsi Ring. Stripped by the Magents. Barch has it. Down to the corner. You talk about the summer hockey and the advancement of the game in that regard. When I grew up playing, graduating high school, there's a penalty coming on the Magents in the early 2000s. There was the Predators and there was Team North Dakota Selects, and that was it as far as summer hockey was concerned. There's a lot more options these days, not only for the boys, but for the girls as well.
Yeah, it really is. And make no mistake, I mean, not to hurt anybody's feelings here, but, you know, the high school season is used for preparation for Team North Dakota because the elite players play Team North Dakota to move on and get looks elsewhere. And that's truly what Team North Dakota is used for. And so the high school season is just kind of a buffer in the middle before, you know, between their season and the national tournament.
Puck's taken from the line, tipped down in front, they score on the doorstep. Elise Knapp puts it through the wickets, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, Elise Knapp there, that's two for her today. That super opportunistic by that young lady. You know, great job for Fargo Davies.
We'll wait and see where the official call on the assist lie, but you're going to see an assist coming from Allie Ebeneth at least on that shot from the line that sailed on through. Excuse me on the name pronunciation, it's Knapp. I've got it written down here correctly. I just, my own note to myself, I do apologize.
The K at the beginning of it can throw you off, that's for sure.
Power play goal here for the Davies Eagles. They've gone 2 for 2 on the man advantage. Let's listen in. They're saying Ebeneth from Silverdangle, saying that Knapp didn't even touch it.
Yeah, they got it wrong. It was a tip in by Knapp, and it was a shot from whoever the defenseman was, and I didn't quite catch the number, but they'll get that squared away before the end of the game on the score sheet.
For sure the shot came from the line from Ebeneth.
And for sure the tip came from Knapp.
The problem-solving skills are high inside the PSP press box. We know one thing's for sure, it's 2-2 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Great response from the Davies Eagles on their 11th shot of the hockey game. March down to the corner, puck's poked free out front. Oh, the puck was on the tape for a moment there of Meyer. Now it's sailed in over the head of Ackerman. Back behind the cage, Fagerlund in after it. Sent out in front again. That was Ellery Wilcox on the doorstep. She tracks it down and works it to the point. Slap shot came in. Taken here by Macy Burke. She's ridden off the play. Back at center. Voller causing some trouble there for Minot High School. And it's going to be sent all the way back into Minot High territory. We're in after it. It's the Magent Stravecki. Tracks it in. Jordan Love with Mr. Medler today as our officials on the ice surface. They did a nice job calling an even game here today.
Yeah.
Puck comes away to the near side wing. Brent Hansen hits the brakes. Hansen sends it in. Supis makes the stop. Scrum in the corner. Hansen down, just chips it off the wall, and Minot digs in after it again. Ebeneth back behind the net. Puck's freed here to the Eagles. They've got real estate as they start their motor up to center ice now as Ottmar's got it. Pushed into the zone. And on the attack is Oshak. Taken here by the Magents. It's Garris around the wall. The advancement in girls high school hockey, night and day. We talk about my high school days and back when there was only 2 options for summer hockey in the early 2000s. Here's a high riser missed. Fagerlund out in front. The advancement in the game on the girls' side has really been remarkable and fun to watch over the years.
Yeah, it really has, you know, and there's so many options out there for these girls to develop, and as long as they're willing to put the time and effort in, they have options, and that's a great thing. You know, it helps the game grow, and it helps put a better product on the ice, and ultimately it helps advance more players to the higher levels from North Dakota.
Puck's going to be sent back in behind the Davies net. Most recent big signing from our state, Brenna Curl, picked up by the Maine Black Bears. Start of this campaign. She plays at Century. Of course, her older sister Britta paving the way. Here comes Slid, fires it towards the net, hit traffic there. Minot holds the zone. Good pressure here from the Magents on a long shift for the Eagles in their own D territory. 10:40 ticking down here in the second. We're tied at nooses on the board. Slid sends it out front, nobody home. Back to the far point, March with a backhand. She'll drop that one down into the corner. Now it's going to be taken and fired all the way out. Ackerman's going to let that one sail on by her. That will be an icing. That icing brought to you by Planet Pizza. 701-852-1700. It's Planet Pizza. Try that Blue Buffalo pizza today, or try their stuffed breadsticks or chicken wings. I'm telling you, they have the best chicken wings in all of the Magic City. You ever had the chicken wings there?
I have not. I try not to eat too much fast food, but I do like their pizza occasionally.
Planet Pizza, 701-852-1700. A little liver when you watch these hockey games here tonight from the Magic City.
You don't get a good-looking figure like I got with a little sacrifice, Nick.
You don't. That's not playing shape for you from back in the day?
No, it is definitely not.
Still got the coaching figure going though, Tony, which is good. Offsides here, 10 minutes on the dot to play in the second. 2-2. Your time coaching Minot High boys to a state title back in 2015. Your time with Minot State women's hockey and the MSU Beavers. You miss the coaching world?
Every day. Every day. I can't wait to get back into it. Just the right opportunity has to present itself, and you know, hopefully I get that opportunity someday.
Puck's going to be pushed up to center. Pair of goals in this hockey game for this young lady. It's Knapp that carried in. She ended up on the ice. Puck comes away to the far side wall at the point. Across from Ottmar. Dumped down to the corner and giving chase are the Eagles. Minot High's got real estate, however, with Garris. Under 9.5 to play in the second. Dickinson and Minot playing boys coming up next on the PSP Network. Matt Morelli and I will have the call of that one coming up. Back at the line, here comes a Whistler. Tipped in front, oh, went just wide. Now Bryn Hansen. Number 3 in the state for scores. Climbing her way up that list with a pair of points in this game here today. It's going to be dumped in from center. Supis goes down, she'll hang on to it. We'll have a face-off coming. Supis's blocker side with 9:02 to play here in our second period. Supis just made a stop, and they put a shot up on the board for the Eagles, so I'm curious if there's a miscue on that scoreboard here this afternoon, Tony.
Well, you know, we were wondering that last night too. It seemed like there was some miscues on the shot clock last night as well. So,
well, everybody doing their best. Puck was almost turned over. Now it's the Eagles with possession. Graveline back to center. How much will the landscape change here where there's going to be an offsides up on it high? How much will the landscape change with Fargo North being a high school in a program in boys hockey. Will we see that with girls, or is that going to be a co-op for some time to come?
I don't know. That line in Fargo moves so often that every year it seems like that line moves for them, and you got girls that are having to go from Davies to West Fargo it's a numbers game.
Out in front, on the doorstep with the opportunity. Beta fired it on. Supis comes up with a monster stop out in front of the net.
It's just the numbers games based on the youth program, on what they got coming through and where the kids are located in their home addresses. So, there's a good chance that someday there won't be any co-ops, but you never know.
Off the draw, Minot High is going to get it back here. Sent out front. While you look at Bismarck and what the Bismarck Blizzard program was able to do, they were the queens in North Dakota girls high school hockey for many seasons. Minot's got it back again. Beta fired that one high and wide. Then that split came. Bismarck High and Legacy together. Century on their own. It's affected the caliber down in Bismarck, but I don't think it's going to affect it for that long. There's still players in the game without question each and every year. Here's a drive. That one went just wide.
Well, that Bismarck's got a fantastic 15 UA team. And if I remember correctly, I was talking to their head coach about it, and just asking numbers which way girls are going and who lives where. And he said the majority of the girls go to Century, and I think there's only 3 or 4 girls that go to Bismarck Legacy. So, like Legacy got the majority of the girls here early this year, and then next year it seems like Bismarck Century is just going to reload, and that team is that is a very good 15 UA team.
Tim Meyer, the coach of the year last year in high school hockey for girls. Future's bright again for the capital city. We're down to 7 minutes to play in the second. Eagles have possession. They're back into Minot High territory with some speed. This is Voller who pushes it down underneath the end line. Puck's tied up in deep behind the net. Bryn Hansen was out with it then. She's tripped on the play. Arm comes up. And Minot High is going to go to the power play. As soon as Davies touches, now Slind fell on top of the puck at center. And the potent power play that has been for Minot High comes back out. They're 2 for 3 in this hockey game, Tony. And a tripping call's charged on Davies. Lucy Grothman, she's into the sin bin.
Yeah, and we talked about it between the periods. You can't win hockey games if you're killing penalties all day long. Now, with that being said, I don't know if that was a little bit soft for my liking personally, but he had the best angle at it and called a penalty, so it is what it is.
Davies fires at the length of the ice. Ackerman left it back in behind the net, pushed away to the far side for the Magents. Barch cleared up to center. Minot's got numbers at neutral ice. They're going to come into the zone with it now. Take it here. Fagerlund fires on. She's got a pair in the hockey game, both on the power play. But that time it was Supis that gloved it in hell. $1:38 to play on the Minot High power play, their 4th advantage of the game. Shots are 21-12 on the board, favoring Minot High School. Puck comes back away now, streaking in, firing up. Garris just sent it wide.
Yeah, Cammie Garris has had a fantastic weekend. She was spectacular yesterday during the Jamestown game, and she's done a great job this year, and there's no doubt that she's the #1 D on this team right now.
Barch has possession of the puck here, back in her own territory. Cross ice feed off to Slind, and Slind's going to move up over neutral. They're going to call that too many players on the ice surface.
Yeah, they got caught, and it was going to be close, but I don't know who it was that came off the bench early, but somebody got caught.
Well, we caught a tail end of it on the Ryan Family Dealerships replay. It certainly was close, wasn't it?
It was very close, but boy, I don't know. Oh boy, I don't know about that one.
Minot High charged with the bench penalty. Too many skaters on the ice. That's their 2nd bench penalty of the season. And now we'll skate 4-on-4 for 1:06. After that, 54 seconds. of power play time coming for the Davies Eagles. Up to the far sideline. Here for Otmar. In on Ackerman. She comes up with a save. Ackerman hangs on. This hockey game brought to you by our good friend Mason Kramer at Mason Kramer Photography. Game action shots and senior portraits. Mason Kramer Photography delivers some of the best work imaginable. Find him at MasonKramerPhotography.com or on all social media platforms. Huge help to us on the PSP network with our game promotion and marketing needs. He does a splendid job. He and Tyler Hagan. Tyler Hagan Photography, those two official photographers of the PSP network. We can't thank both of those gentlemen enough for their sight in our mission of promoting local athletes. One-on-one drill now here for Brent Hansen. She turns the motor on. Hansen had it stick checked away. Tracks it down in the corner. Hansen with the stick. Moved it back up top, and then it's going to escape the zone. All the way down it comes. We're under 5 to play here in the second. It's a 2-2 tilt with Minot and Davies. Minot trying to get off the schneid. They've lost 3 straight. Davies trying to make it 2 in a row on the western swing to North Dakota after a 3-2 win at Williston last night. Davies is at full strength. They're now on the power play. They've got a pair of power play goals in this hockey game. Here's their all-state captain up through center. Ebeneth down to the corner. Ebeneth handling in deep. Surveys here. Right-handed shooter moved it back to the line. Here's a Whistler in from the point. Graveland comes up with the shot. Ackerman equal to that save. Well, unfortunately, I think that shot's on goal board. There's some confusion on which side the Eagles shots are supposed to be going on, my friend. Shots are 21-14. That's official. That's what will go in the book. However, again, they're volunteers down there doing the best they can. And in their defense, the score clock changed last night from Brands at the All Seasons Arena here to the Pepsi rink. 2 different types of scoring systems, and that creates a little bit of a challenge. Power play out for another 6 seconds. Oh, that one drove onto the goal. Hit the top of the stick of Ackerman. Caromed right on top where the water bottle would lie. Might have got away with one there. The Magents are now at full strength. Eagles are going to have to touch up on sides as Minot forces the puck out to neutral. Chipped off ahead. Slynn trying to trace that puck down into the offensive zone, but it's Bergeron that's after it. Minot comes out with it from the corner. Poked free out front. Garris from the line. Bouncer, stick save. Minot's got possession with Fagerlund. Spins away with it. Whistled all the way down. This will be an icing on the Eagles as that puck goes 200 feet. And a stop in the play with 3:01 to play here in the second. That icing brought to you by Northern Plains Heating and Air. Northern Plains Heating and Air. No other choice to seal your heating and air game. The Northern Plains Heating and Air. Find them online, northern-plains.com. Glove side of Supus. 2-2 here in her sophomore campaign. 2.14 goals against average with a .919 save percentage. There's one thing for certain, Tony, in our state. There are some premier goaltenders, isn't there?
Yeah, we got a lot of good goaltenders. That list, I mean, if you look at the rankings, I believe Jillian Ackerman's down around the 11 mark, which is shocking, to say the least. But that just shows the depth of that goaltending across the state.
Offsides the call here on Minot High. If you've got a goalie that's got a .246 goals against average and a .918 save percentage, ranked number 11 in North Dakota, you know that there's some company surrounding her that is top notch. Anything above 90 would be considered good. Anything above a 93 would be considered excelling at a pretty high level as far as the save percentage is concerned. And for goals against average, anything under 2, you can do the math on it. If you're knowing that you're not going to give up 2 per night guaranteed, you're going to be in pretty good shape
Yeah, and with that being said, I mean, I'm looking at the list right now, and, you know, you have Olivia Rotar and Alyssa Jacobson, both for Fargo North-South, top in the list, 1-2. So they're split in time, so they don't have as many games under their belts as Jillian Ackerman does either. And then it's Megan Seeley at number 3 for West Fargo United. And I mean, she's a 95. So, I mean, you know, you get anywhere in between that 90-95 range for a goaltender that consistently plays. And we got quite a few of them up on that list. So it's pretty impressive, honestly.
This puck's going to come down all the way to the Davies end, but it was a Davies clear back to their own point. Minot High is going to intercept down in deep. Macy Burke behind the net, trying to send it out front. Fagerlund looked for the hat trick, couldn't get a stick on it. We go the other direction now. The 2-on-3 drill here for Davies with the motor on. In towards the net. Pad save on the shot coming from Wilcox. Back to the point. Ackerman's going to hang on to it now as she falls it. Slows down shop with 92 seconds to play here in the second. Still 2-2 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, this second period's gone pretty quick here for both teams, and they've, you know, it's been back and forth. Each team's had opportunities to score 5-on-5. We have yet to see a 5-on-5 goal, but you know, it's a fun game to watch so far.
Power plays the name of today's game as far as the offensive production is concerned. Into the offensive zone now for the Eagles. They push down Ebeneth, first one in after it. Ebeneth scrumming there with Slid. Puck freed into the corner. Minot High is going to trace it down there with Erickson. Piper Erickson around to the near wall. Spun it off back. Back out to neutral ice now it comes, where it's taken here by Lavoie. Slind intercepts, Slind's into the zone. Oh, Slind taken down. And Minot High's power play is going to come back out onto the ice surface. And Eve Slind a bit slow to get up here as there was a leg-on-leg collision there.
Yeah, and that's, you know, Eve's recovering from an ankle injury, and that just happened to be the leg that they caught there. So I'm sure that didn't feel too good, but she'll shake her off and be out next shift.
Into the offensive territory for Minot High at the faceoff.
Yeah, but this is definitely not what Davies needs to do right now. They got to stay out of the box. They have to figure out a way to quit taking so many penalties.
ServPro power plays back out here for Minot High. ServPro 24/7 emergency service with trained technicians and advanced technology. Bryn Hansen tried to shoot it short side, and she just missed. Half a minute to play in the period. Minot's got possession. Out in front, comes away now. Here to Burke, spins it towards the net, went wide. Fagerlund down and deep, 19 seconds to play. Sent in front for Burke. All right, kids, cut him down. We're at 15. Burke in front, tipped underneath the pad. Supis comes up, she'll hang on to it. Supis has been good in the hockey game today. That can go without question.
Yeah, and you know, Fallon Fagerlund there pick up that cross ice pass again in front, and Davies wasn't having any of it, and two Minot bodies ended up on the ice in front, and it was both Burke and Fagerlund, but Davies has to figure out a way to stop that cross ice pass because Minot High's tapped 2 of them in today.
9.3 left here in the second. Minot wins the draw. They try to work it up top, but the coverage was there from Ebeneth. 4 seconds, now 3. One more chance maybe for Minot High. Ebeneth shutting down any opportunity that was there for the Magents in the offensive zone. We've played 2 periods at the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. We've got ourselves a classic today. 2 lead changes in the hockey game. 4 goals have been scored. The Eagles have an answer for the Magents, it seems, at the turn of every page in this showdown. Magic Towing intermission report comes up next. We'll break this one down with the highlights and stats.
Great news. If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Damn it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
And finally, Agent Smith. He's in charge of restoring your property to its original state.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
When it's time to choose your team, you want to pick the best.
I pick Carson Wentz. I pick Hunter Lipke.
Where'd you come from? I was in football just like you.
Always choose people you know and trust for your team, like your community bankers at First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
Whether it's getting an education, making priceless memories, learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go, the team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Estvold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck, because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
As marketed, it's been a good one in this Saturday afternoon affair with the East and West, with Davies and Minot 2-2 at the end of 2 periods played. Third period comes up next. Welcome into our intermission report. The second intermission brought to you by Magic Towing. Put the number in your phone now, 701-509-4011. You blow it, we tow it at Magic Towing. Dick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen here for the call today on the PSP Network. Well, this one's been worth the price of admission, probably a box of popcorn and the Pepsi here at Pepsi Rink today.
Oh, 100%. It's been a back and forth battle, and you know, it's been a game of special teams, and both Fargo Davies and Minot High has capitalized on both their power plays, or 2 of their power plays that they've received. And you know, I think the big thing is if Fargo Davies wants to get out of this road trip with 2 wins, they got to stay out of the penalty box.
We'll take a look at the full stats after this highlight package. You see Minot scored first. That was Fagerland's 3rd of the year from Hansen. Then we saw Knapp on the other side equalize it. Then Minot early in the second, 44 seconds in to be exact on the power play. They got another one from Fagerlund, then a shot from the line that was tipped by Knapp out in front. Evident to Knapp, 2-2 at the end of 2 periods played. Those are the highlights brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. Serving Minot and Williston with 5 locations. It's Ryan Family Dealerships. The commitment and respect for their customers is as strong today as it's been for 50 years. Experience the difference when you visit one of those locations in Minot and Williston, or do what I do and just shop online at driveryan.com. It's Drive Ryan bringing you the numbers of the first 2 periods here tonight. Shots 22-18 favoring Minot, so we think the operators down on the clock maybe off the mark just a bit. No knock on anybody down there. Just not sure if we're all on the same page on who's supposed to be getting what as far as those shots being entered. Score is 2-2. We know that for sure. Saves in this hockey game. 20 for Supis, 16 for Ackerman. Power plays 2 for 3 on each side. Minot High's got the tail end of a power play here to start our third. Power plays really have been the name of the game here tonight as far as offensive production is concerned.
Oh, 100%. I said it just a few minutes ago, and I said it in the first intermission. I think the team who has the least amount of penalties this game is going to win it, because power plays is how the goals are coming. And right now Minot High is they have more power plays because they're going into the third period with one. So right now Minot High's got the edge.
Third period should be a doozy. Comes up next on the PSP Network. Busy week next week. First, we'll tell you about what we've got coming up next. Dickinson at Minot High in a showdown. 7 o'clock for the pregame tonight. I'll be on the call. Here's truly Nick Hulberg, joined by Matt Morelli here this evening at the Pepsi Rink. It's a WDA matchup and the 54th all-time matchup between Minot and Dickinson. Minot's won all but 4 of those showdowns all time. However, this is a year that I think the Dickinson Midgets could maybe add another one to that list. And in the years past, it hasn't always felt that way. However, this year with Caden Krieg, a 2-time All-West Region selection, a pretty darn good goaltender down for the Dickinson Midgets on the southwest side of the state. This one could be a real dogfight tonight.
Yeah, they're a big, strong, physical team as well. And, they don't have as much talented depth as Minot High does, but they always play that gritty style of hockey, and it's hard to play against.
Hard to play against, and they're kind of like a rattlesnake. They just don't quit fighting either, is the thing. You're never in the clear against a team like Dickinson. Should be a fun one tonight. We'll have the call for you on the PSP Network. How about next week? Well, got more hockey coming your way, but we'll start with girls and boys basketball. Minot at St. Mary's, and girls and boys hoops next week. Devils Lake comes to Minot for a boys game on Tuesday night. East First West Showdown. Join me for the program podcast on Wednesday. On Thursday, Minot's at Legacy. Those are my picks inside the West region, not just because I'm a Minot High guy and covering the Magi. Those are the 2 teams I had slated at the top of the list for boys hockey at the start of the year in the WDA. They match up at 7:15 on Thursday. On Friday, the Demons and the Jets and Magicians come together. Some of the ranked teams in high school basketball will play at 6 and 8 o'clock on Friday at Magic City campus. St. Mary's will be at Legacy at 6 and 7:45. Busy night Friday night. And then Saturday we'll end our coverage with Jamestown at Minot at 7:30 in boys high school hockey coming up next week on the PSP Network. One more break before we start our third and final period of play. It's 2-2 at the end of 2. We'll face off the third with the Eagles and the Magents next.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
"17 minutes on the clock. 1:18 of power play time for Minot High to start things off in our third. Minot is in white. The Davies Eagles are in their creams. We are officially underway for the third period. Again, Nick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen on the call. Tony, is there one key in your mind for Minot to this first 5 minutes?
Well, it'd be nice if Minot could capitalize again on this power play and give themselves a little bit of a cushion here going forward and, you know, play with the lead. They haven't had that opportunity to do that much, and so playing with the lead is crucial.
Puck's going to be sent into the zone by Minot High. Puck away to the near wing. Back with the puck for Minot High is Garris on the far side. Garris will start the motor into the zone. "12 seconds of power play time remaining." I figured out what the issue is with the poor people in the box here tonight. There's a home and away button inside of on that scoreboard that they're keeping track of. However, when the names were implemented on the board, they've got them backwards. Minot should be on the left, Eagles should be on the right. So that's where the confusion's coming in here, Tony.
Oh, that makes a little bit more sense.
Minot's in with a drive. That one up from Beta into the catching mitt. Stop of the play, just about a minute and a half in to our third period of play. Nothing like high school hockey season. We opened the show up tonight talking about how we're in the full stride of it now and knowing where we are inside of the standings, how many games are already complete, how many are left. November behind us, December quickly will be behind us with the holiday break coming up.
Yeah, and this is Minot High's last game of the semester, so I mean it's half over for them.
The Magents coming in on a record of 3-4 overall on the season. Davies at 2-3. Puck's going to be dumped down in behind the netminder. She was out to play it. Megan Supis has had quite a night tonight here for Fargo Davies. Puck's taken by the Eagles across the zone, but Minot High has real estate. They chip it up off the wall on the far side wing. Eagles get it back, and now it's dumped right back in. Graveline on the attack here for Davies. Britt Hansen takes it up off the glass and works it back onto Dervecki's tape, and Dervecki tried to move it free to the near line. Up top, it's sent right back in from Otmar. Back behind the net and around to the far side. Minot's got the puck back. They fire out to center. Energy level becoming a factor in your mind here in this third?
Well, I'm not really liking how Minot High is trying to break out of the zone here. I mean, they're just throwing the puck around the wall. I mean, it's like a ring around the rosy, and it's not doing them any favors. That's why Fargo Davies keeps just picking it back up just at the blue line or just outside the blue line and throwing it back in and resetting. And so, yeah, I mean, if Minot High continues to do that, they're going to burn out of energy a lot faster than Fargo, as it's harder to play defense than it is offense.
Graveline with the puck with a backhand. Sent it down into the corner. Fagerlund, who's got a pair of goals in this hockey game, went around the near wall. Garris is going to get it back. Garris looks for the outlet, goes across to neutral. Puck's taken here by Davies at center ice. Oshak had it momentarily. Tied up in front of the Minot High bench. Fagerlund off the wall. Supis doesn't like it for the Eagles. She's going to reset the table here with 13 minutes on the dot to play in the third. 4 have been completed for the Davies Eagles right now, and Josh Rogers here in his first year as the head coach Does he have a game plan in this third to come out on top when it's all said and done in your mind?
You know, I think the biggest thing that he needed to address between periods was the penalty issues, but you know, I think right now the big thing that what I'm not liking from either team is the energy level. It's just kind of blah, kind of a sleepy start of the third period here.
Lavoie takes it, she'll dump it down. Yeah, that's where that question on energy kind of stemmed from. It just seemed that the end of our second, we had pretty good flow. Here to start the third. Picking up now as it's taken here by Britt Hansen. Fires it across. Oh, sent it across the zone for Stoner. Puck comes out to center. Minot's going to regroup at neutral here. As Garris takes it, she'll dump it right back in.
Yeah, it's almost like nobody wants to be the one to make a mistake, so they don't want to try to do anything extra, you know. But at the same time, if you're not trying to possess and make plays, then it's just kind of sloppy and slow.
On the retrieve for Minot High, it's Macy Burke. Held in at the line, Ebeneth fires in, Ackerman makes the stop. 5 minutes have been played here in the third. This third period of play is brought to you by our friends at Roger Ward Moving and Storage. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Roger Ward can help you with your moving and storage needs. They've been proudly helping the region since 1942. It's a long time at Roger Ward Moving and Storage. Their brother company, Jobbers Moving and Storage, brings you tonight's move of the game. Sport Clips will bring you the MVP of the showdown. You can tweet at us right now at Network PSP and let us know who you think that player is tonight as the MVP of the showdown. Sent down in front. Oh, Slin's on the doorstep. Couldn't get a handle on it. Supes comes up with the save. Pucks away to the far side. Knapp takes it. She hammers off the wall. Roller comes all the way down. We've got ourselves an icing. Minot High with another point-blank opportunity. Supes was there to shut the door.
Yeah, that was real fortunate for Supes because she made the initial save and then the rebound just popped right back out front. And I don't think Slyn had the reactionary time quite timed perfectly, and she couldn't get a good wood on it. And that was a grade A opportunity for Minot High.
Well, there you see those graphics to like and follow the PSP Network on all of our social media platforms. You'd be amazed how far a like and a follow and hitting that subscribe button goes in our mission of promoting local athletes on the PSP Network. If you haven't already done so, we so politely ask you to do that. Davies with the puck into Minot High zone. Well, an update from the matchup with Century and Fargo North-South. A game ended up in a shootout. Century drops 3-2 the final. And they come from behind for Fargo North-South with a victory over Century.
Tough weekend for the Century Patriots down there in Fargo. And, you know, Timmy Meyer's going to have to reset and get that team recalibrated to move forward.
Here's Brent Hansen. Fired, knocked down. Puck's taken here by the Eagles. They push to the near side with Wilcox. Evades her zone, comes up now to Slind. Hansen in on the attack here for Minot High. Garris holds at the line. Slind pokes it free. Hansen crashing in. Hansen side of the cage. Oh, big time stop again. Hansen still knocking on the doorstep. Spun towards the net, but wide. Puck comes back underneath.
Look how hard that young lady works. I mean, Hansen, you just called her name about 4 times, and that was a spectacular offensive effort by that young lady.
Bryn Hansen, one of a kind, certainly for Minot High School. 11 points now on the season. She's got the makeup to go down in the history books at Minot High School as one of the greats all time. Only in her sophomore campaign. Here come the Davies Eagles. They're on the attack. Silbernagel in all by herself. Fires, she scores. Silbernagel tucks it in. And the Eagles have their first lead of the hockey game.
Oh boy. Nice move. Jillian Ackerman like to have that one back for sure. I'm not exactly sure how that snuck through, but good job by Silbernagel to get to the middle lane and get a quick little shot off.
First lead of this contest for Davies. And they go up 3-2 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC .bank locations throughout North Dakota and Arizona. Silberdangle with her first goal of the season. We'll wait for the official assists on the play. First even strength tally of the hockey game as well here in the third period. Let's listen in.
Silberdangle at 7:39 in the third period, unassisted.
Unassisted goal for Silberdangle. Minot High is going to get a power play coming. There was a call moments after the Silberdangle goal. And into the box goes Grothman. 2 minutes on an interference call. Well, Minot High not in a must-score situation, but it's almost a must-score situation at this point in the game.
Yeah, especially the way they started this third period. They need to get one here, and this power play is been firing on all cylinders today, so this is the best way to do it.
Drive from the line, loose rebound, kicked out of there. Megan Supez came up with the waffle board stop, then got the big goal stick on it. Fagerlund sent it out front off to Burke. Just past her, back underneath the net now. Hansen scrumming there with the All-Stater Ebeneth. Burke puts it out front. Fagerlund pushed it towards it, and save. Rebound behind the cage. Hansen trying to spin it out to Burke. Garris pinching the line, held there. Servpro power play out for another minute 20 here for Minot High. Eagles are going to clear the zone with it. And the Magents are at center now, where it comes back to Burke. Brought it in. Wilcox reversed it behind her own net. Nice clear there as down it comes from Ebeneth, the length of the ice surface. Minot will have to regroup as Eve Slid turns the motor on. In her own end, Slid's going to bring it up over the red, now the blue. She's going to have to wait to touch up on sides. As Minot High had a skater in, that was Campbell Johnson. Taken back away here by Beta. And Minot's got Garris now weaving up to center. Here's Slid. Makes a move. Slid's going to cut towards the net. Puck's taken away. The Eagles are trying to clear the zone. Minot will hold it here from the point as Barch will send it back towards the goal. 30 seconds of power play time remains. Davies Kill doing what they can here in the final portions of this game with 7.5 to play. Puck's back underneath the Eagle net now as it's going to be worked to the far side. Cleared all the way down. Here's a foot race. Garris is going to have to turn the motor on. She's got Knapp on top of her. Knapp with a pair of goals in this hockey game. Puck's free to the near side. Minot's got it here with Macy Burke. 3 goals on the season for Burke. Fired it up towards the glove. And the stop was made. Supis gloved it and held it with 7 on the dot to play here in this third period. 3-2, Davies on top.
Yeah, we're slowly watching this shot total spread out a little bit here for Minot High, and they don't have anything to show for it here in the third. But if they keep shooting, they're making Supis uncomfortable down there. They got to get back to making her move laterally, and that's their best opportunity to tuck one in.
Ebeneth off the draw. She's going to carry to center. Ebeneth turns the motor on. Ebeneth takes it down. Odd angle shot. That one missed on the waffle board side. At the point, held by the Eagles. Now it's taken back up at center. Burke trying to cross into neutral ice territory. From center, this one set just wide of the cage. Voller dumped it in and went off for a change with Ebeneth. 2 fresh D coming out. Minot catches him in a change, but the puck was just tossed out to center. Davies will come back in. They're whistled for an offsides. 6:23 to play in the third period. The anticipation and intensity level starting to rise here in this hockey game.
Well, tick, 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 tick. We're watching this clock tick down, and this is not where Minot wanted to be here in the third period. You know, they worked really hard in the first 2, and they started this period off a little bit slow and sloppy, and Bryn Hansen got them moving again, and now they got a little bit of momentum, but they need to get one here pretty quick.
At center across from Silberdangle. Fired in. Knapp's in our conversation tonight for the player of the game of this hockey game. She has been fun to watch. Puck comes free now for the Magents. This is a 1-on-2 offensive territory now for Beta. Nice angle on the defensive coverage there. Riding her off was Otmar. Beta got it into the zone. Minot High going back to the defensive side of the puck now is over center. Silberdingle dumped it down. The Magents give chase, and out with it they come now with Drevecki. Pushed up to neutral ice. Campbell Johnson in on the foot race. Johnson scrubbing for it. Freed it down to Fagerlund. Fagerlund behind the net for the Magi. She's met there by Ebeneth, and Ebeneth will turn the motor on and go to her left side. This is going to be a 3-on-2 into the offensive zone as Ebeneth takes it down, fires. Ackerman got a piece of the stick on it. Poked up the near side. And at the wall, it's Burke that clears it down. Minot High is going to settle for an icing on this play as it comes from one side of the red line to the other. And that icing brought to you by Minot State. Be seen, be heard, be you. 96% of recent college grads are either employed or continuing their education at Minot State University. Minot State grads get jobs, period. Under 5 to play, Tony. Chris Stokey, head coach of Minot High School, along with Michaela Newhofflin in their 5th year. Is there anything they can do different at this point in the hockey game?
No, they just, I wonder if they got to be thinking about what they could have done earlier, not so much later. I mean, they've had their opportunities. It's now they just need to figure out how they're going to get the next one and not worry about winning a hockey game, but just tying this hockey game.
Here's a chance to center. Eve Slynn's got it. She's got Bino with her. Slynn goes over to the far side, takes it down underneath the net. Slynn looking for the option. March at the line, pinched in and knocked it down to the corner. Back up to center. Dumped right back in by Minot High's Garris. They touch up and go on the attack with under 4 to play here in regulation. At the line, high riser sailed in from Garris. Knocked down, Davies has possession. They push to center with Graveline. This puck rolls all the way down into Minot High territory. Icing is waved off. At what time do you start thinking about pulling Jillian Ackerman?
Well, you know, statistically, if you look at it from the analytics side of it, they say it's, you know, about the 3-minute mark is your best opportunity percentage-wise to start thinking about it. So it's got to be in the back of his mind. You'd like to see an offensive zone face-off so you can call a timeout. Make sure you have the right personnel out there, but he might not get that opportunity.
Each team with a timeout remaining in this hockey game as the puck taken by Knapp now. It's moved across the Minot High defensive zone. Slynn's got it again. Away to the near side, pushed up off the wall here by Drevecki. Ebeneth right over the Pepsi stamp at center ice. Ebeneth takes it to the far side, top of the circle, out front. Knapp looking for the hat trick, sailed it wide. Now Barch for Minot High. Well, Ackerman's still in the goal pipes for Minot High with 2:40 ticking down here in regulation. Minot trailing by a goal. They scored first. Back in the first period, Fagerlund netted her 3rd of the year. That was before Knapp got her first. Fagerlund scored again on the power play in the second. Knapp got her 2nd of the year, end of the game, as Knapp and Fagerlund had the first 4 goals in this contest. It was 2-2 at the end of 2, 1-1 at the end of 1. And Davies the only team to score here in the 3rd. First of the year on the breakaway from Silbernagel. 2 on the dot now to play here in regulation. Ackerman still in the paint for Minot High School. Puck's going to be sailed up. We'll have a faceoff coming in the offensive zone here for Minot High with 1:52 remaining. Ackerman starting to make her way towards the bench, looking to see if it's time for her to come off.
You'd think that you got to think there's a timeout here first, but
there comes the timeout call from Chris Stokey. Well, we'll take one as well. It's crunch time in the Magic City. 1:52 remains in the hockey game. The Eagles have their first lead of the afternoon. It's 3-2 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Do the Jets have any magic on their home ice? We'll find out when we come back for the finale of this one.
There's no place like the country club. 18 holes of immaculate golf, along with golf simulator, PGA staff, club fitting and lesson, driving range and practice green, pro shop, delicious food, endless fun in the pool, and activities for the whole family. Learn more and become a member today.
It's water. Boom. Agent Winston Otter. He's been called the human sponge.
From the 26-yard line, nearing the Serve Pro red zone are the Demons already. Handoff, Henke dances in the hole. Now he speeds and bursts outside, accelerates to the 20, 15, 10, 2 touches, 2 touchdowns.
Carter Henke, this time they go left, and he just does what he does so well is he read the block. It wasn't off tackle, it wasn't off the guard on the inside, and he took his time, then he bounced to the outside, got a great little kick out block, a touch block, and deep down.
Well, it's time to buckle up tight. We're down to 1:52 to play in the hockey game. Minot's net is vacated on the north end of the arena. The Jets send out their guns with an offensive zone face-off after the Minot High timeout. Bryn Hansen wins it back here. She's going to get it back in the corner now. No, Ebeneth's going to take it. Ebeneth trying to cycle up the wall. Ebeneth's going to skate it all the way up to near the blue line. Then she cleared it out. Ebeneth's got a clear look. Ebeneth's going to take it down. She'll fire. Nice defensive stop there from Macy Burke in her own defensive zone. Puck comes back away now for the Jets. Macy Burke's going to retrieve on the near wall. Comes up to Fagerlund. She's got a pair in the hockey game. Under 1:20 to play in regulation. Back away to the near side wing. All the way up at the line. Held in here by Barch. Now Ebeneth trying to fire. She's going to get another chance at it on the near side wall as she comes in on the scrub. Here's the 1-minute call to play in regulation. Sent out front. Oh, nobody home for the Jets. Now the puck's going to be freed at center. Hansen takes it, knocks it back underneath the Davies goal. Minot needed fresh skaters. They go off for a change. That clears some real estate. Minot High's beat is going to hold it. Uh-oh, Garris has all sorts of trouble here on the near side. Garris is going to limp off. And now there's going to be a body checking call coming here. And power play time will come onto the clock. Minot High is going to get a power play, Tony, here with 38 seconds remaining in regulation. A power play that has been deadly on the day for the Jets. In hindsight, if the Jets had that timeout now after Bryn Hansen and company just went off, but Davies is going to give Minot High the favor here.
Yeah, I don't know if I understand taking the timeout, trying to get your top players, a little bit of time to rest. But boy, oh boy, you got a defensive zone face-off here. Now you got to kill a penalty with 38 seconds left. And Minot High's power play has been pretty good today. And I don't know if I would have called that timeout there, but hey, it is what it is, and we all make different decisions.
Josh Rogers in his first year as the head coach of the Davies Eagles, rolling the dice on the timeout called. 3-2, Eagles have the lead. Game reset brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. DriveRyan.com, browse their massive inventory. 9:08 of the first period is when we saw the first goal of the game. It was Fagerlund's third of the year. She was assisted by Bryn Hansen. Then at 6:38, it was Knapp for Davies, assisted on the play by Bergeron. That tied at 1-1 at the end of one. In the second, Minot scored on the power play 46 seconds in. Fagerlund's fourth of the year, second of the game, assisted by Burke. and by Hansen on the power play. Then Knapp got her second to the year, end of the game, assisted by Ebeneth. Then at 9:17 of the third, unassisted breakaway goal for Silbernagel. That's where we sit right now as Minot High's got a power play out for 2 minutes. Off the draw, taken by Fagerlund down behind the net. Sent out front, on the doorstep, just sailed it wide. Puck came right to Campbell Johnson with a bit of a yawning goal mouth, and she just sent it wide on the blocker side. Sent back on in front. Here's an opportunity. Shot came in. It's on top of the blue paint. And another excellent stop from Soup as she comes up and shuts the door.
Wow, that puck was just sitting there in the blue paint. Just tap it home. Nobody could find it.
Opportunities certainly haven't been on a premium here today, but the goals have. And that's because of the goaltending and the defensive coverage in both ends. 19 seconds to play in regulation. Off the draw, Minot holds the zone, comes away to the near side. At the point, Barch will fire, save, rebound, loose side of the cage. Oh, Macy Burke just couldn't tuck it in. 6 seconds, now 5, now 4. Up at the point, here's a drive. Sailed just high and wide, horn will sound. Davies comes out west. They get a pair of 3-2 wins. This time over Minot, last night over Williston. That key to the game for Minot High School before the show tonight was bury their chances. And they've been snake bitten just a bit. What a hockey game, however, here today at the Pepsi Rink.
Yeah, what a fantastic game. Back and forth. Good energy by both teams.
Final is 3-2 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Stick around for our planning team financial at Shots Crossroads postgame show. It happens next after Davies takes down Minot by third period goal.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day. Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shaw's Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shaw's Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shaw's Crossroads.
Well, the East vs. West showdown today resulted in an East region victory for the Davies Eagles. They take down Minot High School. Final score was 3-2. They reset the video board inside the arena. That's why you see that score at 0-0. We'll get it corrected for you here in just a moment. Up next, Minot High will take on the Dickinson Midgets in a showdown in WDA hockey. You're joined by Matt Morelli here at about 7 o'clock for our pregame show for that showdown tonight. Nick Hulberg, Tony Swearingen for the breakdown. Welcome into our Planning Team Financial Advisors at Shaw's Crossroads postgame show. Davies Eagles come out of the West Region swing with a pair of wins to improve their record to 3-3 overall on the year. Minot loses their fourth in a row. They drop to a record of 3-5 now with a pair of heartbreakers on the weekend. Tony, your thoughts on what was a pretty good hockey game here today, to say the least?
Yeah, you know, good. The first two periods were back and forth, good energy, and I thought both teams played really, really well. And you know, it's one of those things where, you know, we thought that penalties were going to be the deciding factor, and it ended up being the team that took the most penalties won the game, and I don't think either one of us saw that one coming.
Power plays were the name of the game in this hockey game. We'll give you the full recap here in just a moment. Let's look first at Minot High here in this hockey game. If you're New Hoffland and Stokey, the co-head coaches of the Midgets, obviously 4 in a row is not the way that they saw this portion of the season going. However, Minot High did so many good things in this game here today. They just felt to me like maybe just a bit snake-bitten. How do you correct that?
Yeah, you know, unfortunately for them, they weren't able to finish. I mean, the puck was sitting there in the blue paint at the end of the game for the tying goal, and nobody could poke it home. And that's just unfortunate. That's how it's been here for these last 4 games. And, you know, I hate to say this, but the Christmas break couldn't have come soon enough for this Midgets team, so they can reset, recalibrate, and work on some of this stuff, and hopefully maybe get healthy and look forward to this jam-packed schedule in the second half.
Yeah, it really is like a pro schedule coming up. On the other side, for Fargo Davies, Josh Rogers in year number 1. Not only did you beat Williston, a very good hockey team last night, you beat a very tough hockey team today in Minot High, but you beat Mother Nature on the weekend. You got some team bonding on the road. This is a huge weekend for Fargo Davies.
Unbelievable weekend for them. If you would have, I guarantee you, if you would have asked Coach Rogers before the weekend started, hey, you're heading all the way across the state, what are your expectations? And he would have been happy with a split on the weekend. And And I don't think he would have cared what team that he would have got the win from. But they're going home with the weekend sweep and a lot of positives, and they got a lot of new girls on the score sheet and this weekend. So, hey, Davies is looking tough going down the stretch here.
They certainly are. Davies improves to a record of 3-3 overall. They're now 3-2-2 inside of conference play. Again, the Magents dropped to 3-5 overall on the season, 2-5 inside of conference play. There's one thing to be said about that, however. To me, Minot High isn't a 3-5 hockey team. They had the close one against Legacy Bismarck, nail biter against Williston, lost by a goal last night to Jamestown. They lost by a goal here today to a Davies team that obviously has some power and firepower as well. It's all right being the dark horse heading into tournament time in the second half of the year.
Oh, 100%. Every mistake that they made is correctable. I mean, it's not like they don't have the personnel to correct what is happening right now. And I guarantee you they're going to look back on this first half of the season, and they're going to come back with a new energy here coming up. And you'll see a different Magets team in the second half. I have a gut feeling. These seasons get long, and, sometimes the Christmas break is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Coming right in time in 2023 here for Minot High School. It's our planning team financial advisor, Shots Crossroads postgame show. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, contact Planning Team Financial Advisors at planningteam.com. Shots Crossroads, home to the famous number 99. I like it for the banana cream pie. Everything on that menu. It's fantastic stuff at Shots Crossroads. Team buses are always welcome on the 2 and 52 bypass on the east side of the Magic City. You can swing in to Shots Crossroads basically any time of the day. Shots Crossroads brings you the postgame. Pregame coming up in just a few moments for Dickinson and Minot High, more like 7 o'clock, 55 minutes away. See Minot High on the bench getting their pregame ritual in for the boys matchup. Time to take a look at the game rewind of this showdown here today, Tony. We started off with the Magents on the board first. Fagerlund from Hansen, something that we saw twice in this contest. That was a power play goal for Minot High School to get things rolling. That came at 9:08 of the first period. At 6:38, the power play goal on the other side. Quite a snapshot there that was tucked in by Knapp. That made it 1-1 at the end of one. We start our second on the power play here for Minot High. It didn't take them long. 44 seconds into the second. Brent Hansen on an excellent dish. Got it back over to Fagerlund. Minot had the lead. Then the shot from the point. Debeneth had that one tipped on the way through. And the second goal of the hockey game on the power play for Knapp tied the game up. Here's the game winner coming from the Davies Eagles at 9:17 of the third. Great finish out in front from Silbernagel, her first goal of the year. That was point number 3. Then the Magents had the chance at the end of the contest on the power play with 19 seconds left. It was just sitting out in front. Minot couldn't find an answer for that riddle as the stop was made in an excellent hockey game here today for Megan Supis, who's obviously in our conversation for the player of this game. There's your game reset. We do apologize. Here we go. We'll get you the right screen here. 3-2 is the final. Minot High on the power play had some chances. They scored twice. Let's look at those final numbers of this contest. Final numbers brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. Davies 3-2 over Minot High. Minot had 33 shots compared to Davies 22. 31 saves to the 19. Ackerman played well here this afternoon. Supis out-duels her with 31 stops she made. 2 for 3 on the power play for Davies. Minot went 2 for 6 on the power play. Those are the numbers. Any of them hop off the paper for you when it's all said and done here tonight?
Well, as well as Minot High's power play played today, I mean, that 2 for 6, I mean, you'd like to have seen, a 3 for 6 there, and we'd be going to overtime right now, and they had the opportunity right at the end of the game.
Those are the numbers brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. A couple orders of business here in this hockey game. We've got our move of the game brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Jobbers can help you with your moving and storage needs. They've got locations in Minot, Bismarck, Fargo, and Aberdeen. Find them online, jobberswarehouse.com. Well, there's a handful of choices for the move of the game here in this hockey game, but when you win on a breakaway to make it 3-2 late in the contest, I think that's certainly deserving. Silbernagel's got my nomination here tonight.
100%. It was a great move by her. You know, she won the race to the puck and then found her way to the middle of the ice. And you know, Jillian Ackerman would have liked to have that back, but I think the shot kind of caught her off guard, and you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Jobbers moving in storage, move of the game. Congratulations. Reagan Silbernagel put it to the back of the net for her first tally of the season. And it's the game winner. Jobbers moving in storage brings you the move of the game. Find them online, jobberswarehouse.com. Last order of business, our MVP of the matchup, brought to you by Sport Clips. Download the app. Save yourself some time. Select your hairstylist and what time you'll be able to hop on into Sport Clips. They do a fantastic job there on South 16th Street. Minot, they're in Bismarck as well. Sport Clips. And our MVP of the game here today, well, Bryn Hansen's in the conversation in my mind. I thought she was fantastic for Minot High School here today. The effort level that young lady gives is something to all you young hockey players out there watching this broadcast here today. Emulate her in the amount of work that gets put in. She certainly was deserving of a nomination here.
She could have very easily won it. And, you know, I tell you what, as a guy who used to coach her, watching her progress through hockey and becoming a young lady and a dominant athlete, I mean, I am super proud of that young lady and the effort that she puts in. There's not a player on the ice any given day that outworks her.
Good nomination there for Bryn Hansen. The other runner-up, if you will, Megan Supes here today, the sophomore goaltender for Davies, easily could have been our MVP of this contest.
Came up big. You know that you ask your goaltenders to win you hockey games, just like last night for Jamestown against Minot High, and I tell you what, Supes stood in there tall when she had to at the very end of the game, and yeah, she had a heck of a turnout.
Couple kids worthy of that award here. Plenty more on the lineups as well. Those are just a couple we highlight, but my award and my nomination that gets the crowd of the social media post and all the goods afterwards. Sport Clips MVP of the game here today is Elise Knapp in my mind. Knapp came in, no points on the board to start the year. She had an excellent effort here today. She didn't turn the motor off the entire contest. She was awarded with 2 goals and our MVP of the game.
Yeah, the first goal was a big one. Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful shot on Jillian Ackerman. And, you know, Elise Knapp, she's one of those players, again, that plays for Team North Dakota. And, you know, she puts in the effort and the extra time on and off the ice. And, you know, it's fun to watch these players progress. But, yes, Elise Knapp was by far and away the MVP of this game.
Congratulations, Elise Knapp. The MVP brought to you by Sport Clips. Standings inside girls hockey. Well, you can look at it all you want. It's going to be shaken up big time today with some wins and losses, overtime points, shootout points as well. Davies came into the contest today at the number 9 spot. They're going to gain some big time positions here with the points that they earned today over Minot High. Davies is going to leapfrog themselves all the way up into the top 6. Or close to, yeah, all the way up into the top 6 based off of what we see here. Good effort from them. Keep in mind the matchup that we've got coming up next. You've got Minot High taking on the Dickinson Midgets right here on the PSP Network. That's a matchup between the Midgets and Magi, their first of the year. They played in the Jamboree earlier on the season. Dickinson beat them 2-1 in the exhibition Jamboree, which was just a couple periods of runtime play. That should be a fun one coming up. Matt Morelli and I will have the call of that one here on the PSP Network for you folks starting at 7 o'clock. Tony, your final thoughts on this matchup where Davies wins 3-2 over Minot High School.
Well, I hope everyone has a good Christmas holiday and a nice long break, and hopefully the Midgets can get healthy and work on some of these things. And I expect big things here in the second half of the season for this team.
Always fun working with you, partner.
Thank you, Nick.
Great to see you. Great weekend on the PSP Network. We appreciate your help. Tell the family Happy holidays, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure we'll see each other before old St. Nick comes around. For Mr. Tony Swearingen, my color commentator for this matchup here today, and Owen Patterson on the tech side running the camera. I'm Nick Hulberg signing off from the Pepsi rink. Hope you come back and join us at 7 o'clock for the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show of Dickinson Minot Boys WDA play. If not, we hope you have a great night. Have a good night, and God bless.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network. It's game day. Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of Finrun SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shaw's Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shaw's Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shaw's Crossroads.